Hello, everyone. This is Anthony, and you are on a book talk. At book talk, we get authors come and tell us about a book they've written. One author, one book. But today is a special day. We have two authors, one book, and they are here with us. We are going to talk about the book that they have authored. And now, introducing Richard Rossi and Kelly Tabor. And I hope I got those names right.
Hi, Anthony.
Hi, Richard.
Thanks for having us. We're elated to be with you, Anthony.
Yes, and how is Kelly? Hi.
Fine. I'm doing fine. Hello from South Carolina.
Wow.
Sunny South Carolina.
Oh,
yes.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
And how is the weather there? We can hear that your connection is not so clear, but we'll go with it.
It is a beautiful day outside today. The sun is shining brightly, no rain.
Okay, that's good. Where are you, Richard, if I may ask?
I'm in Los Angeles, California right now.
Okay, and I'm curious to know, what does Kelly and Richard do, or what have they done in their life, and then we come to today. What are they doing? Let's start with Kelly shortly.
Well, I have been an elementary school teacher for 32 years, and I've taught first, second, third, and fourth graders. I've taught fourth graders the most, and I recently retired last July. So now I'm writing with Richard.
Wow, that's beautiful. And Richard, what have you done with your life? And we can.
Well, I grew up in a musical family.
Whoa.
And started playing professionally as a child on the guitar. So I've made my living in music since I was a boy. And in my young adult years, I worked as a minister, preaching the good news of God's love and healing power to people. And then I moved towards a creative life, making films, acting, and writing. And I'm just so excited this book that Kelly and I wrote together. It's a children's story called Lucy and the Lake Monster. And it's about this little girl, Lucy, and I play her grandfather in the film version that will be coming out later this year. But we're looking for this sea serpent, Champ, who lives in Lake Champlain. And it's based loosely on Kelly's childhood.
Now, what's the connection, if I may ask, what's the connection between Richard and Kelly?
Kelly?
That's a very good question. Richard and I go back a long ways. Actually, we met in college in Lynchburg, Virginia, back in the 80s. In 1985, we met. He had this prayer group at his house, praise and worship time every Friday night, and I did not want to miss it. It was just such a beautiful time with us college students gathering together. And it was kind of sad when Richard graduated and moved on, because we didn't meet there at his house anymore, this big group of college students. And I was kind of sad that it had ended, but we stayed connected. And I told Richard the stories that I told my students over the years. And my fourth graders always loved the stories of Champ, the Lake Champlain monster. And so Richard became intrigued with the story, and he said, well, how would you like to co-author a book about it with me? And I was so excited because I've always loved to write. And what better thing to do now that I'm retired and all is write, even more books. So we hope that it will not just be one. We hope that there'll be a sequel to it, at least one, maybe even more. And so I was even more excited when he said he'd like to do a feature film as well. And so I left the world of teaching, and now I'm writing and I'm helping him with movie making, which is very new to me. But Richard is a great mentor, and he's kind of taken me under his wing and is showing me the ropes. And we filmed last summer in upstate New York. Wow. And Richard, would you like to say more about that?
Well, yes, we filmed and we had a lovely leading lady, 9-year-old Emma Pearson plays Lucy, and we're in the post-production phase. We've entered our second phase of post-production. We have a rough cut that I've been editing myself, but now other editors are going to come in and polish that, which I'm really excited about, and get it ready for the theaters and the streaming and the DVDs. And so post-production is where the film really gets put together in a lot of ways. They say you write a film 3 times. First, you write a screenplay, and then second time is when you film it. You're making decisions what to film, how to film it. And then the third phase of really putting the film together is post-production, where you decide what clips and what takes to use and how to put it all together. So that's what we're doing right now on the film version. The book's already out though. The book, we have a hard copy. This is the hard copy, and we have this paperback is on Amazon and Barnes and Noble already.
Wow. And we're going to share the links to that so that people can go and get them. As we look forward to seeing the big screen. So Kelly and Richard are both in the play, in the movie.
Yes.
And the young one that is on the cover of the book.
Yes. I play the grandfather of the young girl, and there's a very emotional connection between the grandfather. I think people, if they've been close to a grandparent, will relate to that, because she's an orphan. Both her parents died, and she comes to live with me, her grandfather, in the story. And then Kelly plays the teacher, Miss Marino, who is little Lucy's teacher. And so she has the support system of me and the grandfather, Kelly, the teacher. And then she starts also getting support from some friends. We have some famous actors coming in cameo parts as friends to give encouraging messages to Lucy. And so we have a big secret, which will be when people go see the film, there'll be some surprise celebrities coming in there in brief cameos to encourage Lucy, and we're keeping their names secret right now. But it'll be a lot of fun for kids of all ages when they say, how did they get so-and-so in this movie, you know?
Sounds interesting, and we look forward to seeing it. Now, what's the big idea, or what's the message that you want this book that you've authored together to pass out there to the reader and also to the viewer of the movie that is coming soon?
Do you want to take that first, Kelly?
Yeah, I'll start. Well, first of all, I would love students to just develop a love for reading. I want it to be not only exciting for them to read it, but I want them to be able to say, I love this book. And, you know, I want their love to read it, for reading to grow. In fact, there was a student just recently, Richard was telling me about, in Los Angeles School District out there. And it's the first book he ever read. And so he wants the second time. And we're so excited to hear that, because we've changed the life of at least one little boy, you know, who's read the book for the very first time. It's the first book he's ever read from cover to cover, and he wants to read it again. So already his love for reading has grown. And also in the story, there's also things that Lucy deals with, like anxiety. She deals with grief from the loss of her parents. Her mother passed away searching for Champ in a boating accident. So she's dealing with grief. She's dealing with anxiety. And also she deals with bullies in the story too. And so these are things that a lot of the students, I've been in the classroom and I see some of the things that students struggle with. And these are things that students struggle with. So in the book, we try to give ways that helps Lucy overcome these problems. And so when students, not just kids, but adults, even when they're reading the book, hopefully they're helpful tools and ideas that can help them try to overcome their own problems in their lives that Lucy's going through and facing. Richard?
Yes, also, there's a really important message about following your own inner guidance. And, Lucy believes in Champ, the plesiosaur that lives in the lake. And even though others make fun of her and her beliefs, and we want children to know that they can really think for themselves, that they'll hear a lot of things on TV or a lot of messages. And, the Bible says that the spirit of a man is the candle of the Lord. And it's real important to let children know their feelings, their thoughts are real important, what's inside of them. And Lucy keeps believing and following what she wants to investigate, even though the external world mocks her, bullies her. And in the end, it's going to turn out good for Lucy. Spoiler alert. But, in our society today, there's just so much propaganda and debates and polarization. And it's real important for all of us to know that we get to kind of create our own lives and decide what's important to us. Like, as a writer yourself, Anthony, you know this as well, that when we create our own books, our own worlds, our own projects, our own films, our own lives, our own interests, those kind of projects we create from our hearts give our lives a lot of meaning.
Sure.
And so many people are outer directed and their lives are unexamined. They just do what society expects of them. And they're very unhappy. Here in America, over 80% of the people said they don't like their jobs. They feel trapped. They feel like they're just doing it to pay the bills. They're not really living a full, abundant life. The scripture says, I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And that's
Sure.
a message that Lucy has such an abundant life because her and her papa they're not bound by time or schedules or, they're just enjoying life together at the lake.
Wow, that's a beautiful message to send out there. Everybody should get to read this book. And I guess that is not only the young ones, because the message is so strong for anybody who's listening out there. And prepare to read the book, prepare to watch the movie once it comes out. This is what I would suggest, because that message is important to everyone today.
Oh, thank you, Anthony. Yeah, there was a pastor, Rick Lewis in New York, who was very helpful to us. He let us have our equipment at the church. He even let some of our camera crew stay and sleep at the church and supported us. And him and his wife, to your point, Anthony, that adults can enjoy it too. Him and his wife got the paperback, and he told me that he just read it like that. I think he might have even read it in one night, if I remember right. And then his wife, Carla, told us the same. So it's interesting that the adults get pulled into it as well. I love reading books that are supposedly for children, but I love that, there was the first books I got into reading as a boy were called the Hardy Boys. And it was like these two brothers, Joe and Frank Hardy, and they solve crimes. And that, as a little boy, I started reading these books. But I still, when I see these books at my local library, the Hardy Boys books, I still check them out and read them, even though I first encountered these books decades ago as a boy. I still enjoy them, and I'm hoping it's the same with our book, that adults like it too.
Yeah, especially because of that message, which everybody needs to hear today. So we suggest that they go and get it. And where can they get it, and where can they be informed when the movie is released?
Well, the book, the hard copy and the paperback are out there online, Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And Barnes and Noble, in fact, will be hosting us for upcoming book signings as well. But we have an official website for the book and film, which is the title of the book, LucyandTheLakeMonster.com, and just spell out all those words, LucyandTheLakeMonster.com. And then on that website, they can see lots of information. There's links to a lot of the newspaper articles. We've had front page newspaper coverage. There's links to videos of the CBS News has done several stories on the book and the film. And so there's a lot of, interviews on there. They can watch them, learn more. And we're looking forward to coming to the whole world with this film and letting people see it. And when it shows in Greece, we'd like you to be the MC and host the screening in Greece.
Wow. I'll be glad to do that. I'm waiting for it to come here so that I can be the MC and tell
yes.
Here is Lucy and the Lake Monster.
And you could interview us. You can interview us live for the audience after the film.
That would be beautiful.
And Emma, maybe Emma can come and you can also interview Emma.
Oh yeah, sure. That's great. I'm looking forward to it. Meanwhile, we are going to share the link to that, and that is Lucy and the Lake Monster. And the end here is AND, Lucy and the Lake Monster.com.
Yes.
We are advising everybody to go there and get to order the book and be informed when the movie is being released.
Oh, yes, thank you, Anthony.
Yes, we are very blessed to have you at Book Talk today. It's been quite an honor to host you here.
Well, we're honored too. And I know we got through it. As you said, Kelly had some connection problems, but we still heard you pretty well, Kelly.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yes, we had loud and clear. And before we go, we would like you to tell us a few words that you would like us to not go without hearing. Which are they, Kelly? And then we'll go to Richard.
Okay.
A few words, the final words before the show ends.
Oh, well, I want to thank you for having us. It's a pleasure being interviewed with you. And we are just really excited about our book. We worked really hard. And it was kind of hard at times because he was in California and I was in South Carolina. And so we did a lot of FaceTiming. We did a lot of talking on the phone and coming up with ideas and then editing together, making changes. And it was just a really beautiful time with us working together because, he was open to my suggestions. I was open to his suggestions. And I think the best of both of our works is put together into one. And we're really pleased with the outcome, and we hope everybody who reads it will also be pleased as well. We're so excited because when we look on Barnes & Noble, when we look on Amazon, we have really good reviews. And so it's really nice to see those 5-star reviews on there because it makes our hearts so happy to think, wow, other people like what we've done, and they like the message that we're giving out. And we really hope that people learn from it and enjoy it as they're reading.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. Over to you, Richard.
Okay, well, for my last words, I'll give you some of the very last words of the book. I'll read for a moment.
Okay.
As Lucy and Papa paddled their boat, the SS Champfinder, towards their humble cabin, a still small voice assured them they would find more answers in their journey. The lake was pure and peaceful again. To Papa, Jerry, and Lucy, the best was yet to come. When I close my eyes, Papa, I see Mama and Champ again. They're always with me, Lucy said. Lucy trusted her heart more than anything anybody else could ever say. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, Lucy, and the evidence of things not seen, Papa said to her. So if you only believe, all things are possible to the one who believes. Yes, Papa, it's the magic of believing. Just then, Champ poked out his chicken nugget-shaped turtle head from Lake Champlain, and he smiled at little Lucy. She smiled and waved back, and then Champ submerged back under the water. Lucy looked out at Bawaga Bay and surveyed the shore. She marveled at the majestic cedar, birch, and oak trees sprouting up on the shoreline. And she thought about all that she'd learned on her champtastic journey. She repeated some lyrics to herself that she'd written with her papa. These lyrics say what Lucy and Papa believed and what all wonderful people in the world believe. I look to the lake and I look to God above, the best things you can't see, like magic and love, magic and love, magic and love.
Wow, that's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Thank you.
So
I just
beautiful.
gave away the end of the book. Oh, there's a spoiler.
You gave it away. You gave it away. But it's beautiful. Still, it's interesting even after I tell the people about what the movie was all about, they will still rush to the theater to go and watch it.
Yes, yes.
So thank you. Thank you for sharing the end of the
Yes.
because it's wonderful.
Well, God bless you, Anthony and Kelly. You both have a chamtastic day today.
Thank you so much for having us. Richard, also, I want to say one more thing. Richard is very musical, and he played his guitar a little bit at the beginning, but we also have a theme song for the movie too. It's called You Champ and Me. So you might hear that across the airwaves.
Okay, why not end this episode hearing it? So
Okay,
that's
well,
the end of
I'll do a little bit of the song for you on my guitar.
Okay, let me end the show. This has been Book Talk. I've been your host, Anthony Morore, and together with our guest today, Kelly Tabor, and our other guest, Richard Rossi. Thank you for watching. Go get the book at lucyandthelakemonster.com, and also be waiting for the movie. Here we go. That's the end. Bye for now.
Just you, champ, and me. I saw in your bright eyes light from the fireflies, the legend of the lake where our secret vows we take. Lake lady on our boat upon the sea, just you, champ, and me.